9 days ago, a fly entered my room and encroached upon my domain, and my expansion didn't catch it, and I felt it buzzing around my head. Now, naturally, I thought to myself, well, I'm not gonna bother this fly. This fly is just doing what it naturally does. Flies usually live from 10 to 15 days. So I thought this fly is gonna die on its own, so I naturally avoided it. Start flying next to my ear. First day was pretty fine, got some work done, nothing really bothering me. Things are pretty easy, pretty standard. Next day, the fly gets a little bit more aggressive. It gets a little more intimate with me. It starts thinking we're friends, buddies, personal comrades. We're not members of Soviet Russia. Why is this fly getting right up in my hand? And then it lands upon the top of the back of my palm, and I think to myself, whoa, this is a little bit stupid. Why would you even get close to me? My brain is having 1,000 miles a minute of thoughts, and I say this fly gotta go. So naturally, I smack with the force of God and Thor, boom, striking the force of thunder, end up hurting my hand really bad. Almost peeled a little bit of skin off because why are you touching me? Why are you trying to have a conversation with me? Why are you doing this without my consent? Flies naturally don't know anything about consent. They don't live for about 10 to 15 days. All they know is how to go towards piles of poop and get on my food. Now, I eat at my desk a lot, so naturally, the fly must have come from something I ate. Maybe it was the DiGiorno's, maybe it was the delivery, but delivery is not DiGiorno's. So I think, all right, well, something's wrong afoot. Something's messed up with my way and how I eat my food. So I start thinking of all the ways this fly could have entered my domain. So I go around the entire house and notice that my kitty litter is overflowing. Well, I guess I better go change that. So I change out my cat litter, and lo and behold, the fly seems to disappear for about 20 minutes. Another 20 minutes pass and I hear the buzzing, the insistent buzzing inside of my ear. It feels though it's inside my head, so I smack the side of my head, just giving my health self a ringing sensation. And I say, okay, I need to figure this out. So I go to the one source on the planet that has all the answers and crossed all the universes, no matter how specific or how ignorant. I go to Reddit. I go to Reddit and try to figure out, do I put out honey? You catch more flies with honey. Do I put out sugar? Do I put out a sandwich? Do I make a specific fly meal? Do I put out I put on a fly suit and try to lure the fly and try to have it mate with me? Do I do a little bird dance for the fly? Is that what I do? Nope. Turns out I can just put out some apple cider and then the fly will naturally go to it, much like I was dealing with gnats. But I needed a decoy, so I went to Home Depot and bought a little fake apple. Got a little fake apple, put some apple cider vinegar inside of it, and I think, okay, obviously the fly is gonna fly down there and use its little fly senses, its pheromones, however flies figure things out, rub its little piss hands together, and the fly will be gone forever. Flies out of my hair, and we're good, we're doing great. However, second day, wasted all this money just to take out one fly, and inadvertently, the fly didn't even go for the bait. This fly is a 10th level intellect. This fly has the brain power of Sherlock Holmes and Elle and Kira from Death Note. This fly is Batman. I am so impressed that the fly didn't even take the bait. Maybe because I was too close to it. So I go ahead and put it on my top seal and then wait a little bit. But nope, the fly is just coming towards me. And then I begin to think, well, maybe I stink. Maybe I smell like garbage. So I take a deep bath. I take a very strong, personal, amazing bath. I start getting the crevices. I get every follicle on my foreskin. I get all of it. I get in between my ass crack. I go underneath my arms. I get in between my fingers. I get the dirt under my nails. I scratch my neck and make sure no dirt is on there. I am clean. I got a little bit of melanin off me. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm good. I'm straight. I'm set. We're all fine. So, come back to my desk, do some more work. Guess what? The fly is still buzzing. Well, maybe this fly doesn't acknowledge my cleanliness. Maybe it doesn't know. Maybe it just thinks that my skin is poop because the fly is racist. I start trying to think of justifications for the fly. This has to be a Jim Crow era fly that teleported towards me, and it was on those plantations, maybe just flying around black people thinking I'm darker than under the bed. Maybe that's what the fly was thinking. So I try to reason with the fly. I see the fly on my desk and I look at it and it looks at me, and we have a confrontation. We're staring each other down. I say, okay, little buddy, I know there's something you want. Maybe you want the sandwich. Maybe you want my food. Maybe you want my oatmeal. Maybe you want my 3 water bottles that are on my desk. I will leave the room and let you have it. So I go to my living room and I can't believe it. You wouldn't believe it unless I told you. I hear an incessant buzzing in my ear. Are there two flies? Wrong again.
The fly is following me. It can feel my vibrational magnetism. It feels my aura. It feels my Mercury in retrograde. It feels my alignment, my core to the sun. It feels me going up, down, around town, Kugelgop. It feels me. And I almost lose it. This is only the second day. So I go to sleep, and the entire night I hear buzzing, so I sleep under the covers. So third day pops around. I wake up. Oh, overjoyous. I don't hear the fly. This is great. And the only curious thing is that I don't hear any flies anywhere. I didn't hear any buzzing. I didn't hear any noise. But then I see my cat look around like this. I see the cat's head tilt go crazy, and the cat is in airplane ears mode. When a cat's in airplane ears mode, it sees something it needs to hunt. And I say, "What's wrong, little buddy? What's happening?" My cat is chasing down the fly, but the fly is smarter than my cat. The fly is hovering just above, figuring out the distance of how high my cat can jump, and flying just above that. And I'm honestly impressed. I can tell this fly has something inside of his body that I don't have. It has wit, it has charisma, it has feelings in its soul. It has an ability to piss me off so deeply that I have to go buy some. I gotta buy a salt gun, I gotta buy something. So I'm thinking maybe I'll buy a praying mantis. Maybe if I infest my house with ants, the ants will form a bridge and knock the fly out using the power of ant physics and ant math. Maybe if I get a wasp nest, the wasp will make it so bad in the neighborhood that the fly can't gentrify it anymore, because wasps are obviously Crips. That's what I think wasps are. They just do ignorant stuff for no reason. They're gonna strip my house of copper. That's my thought process, but no, the fly is just subtly hovering, so subtly, so smoothly, so slowly, so concisely, to where my cat can't grab it. So I'm SOL. I'm out of luck. So I try to run to my room. I try to close the door, but I can see the fly get under a little crack under the door, and flies under the crack, and it's back buzzing around my room. So now I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. I'm clenching my fist. I'm agitated, and I see the fly. It hits my left palm this time. I'm looking at my left palm, and I can feel all the cells in my body, something primal, something ancient, something hunter in me, try to use all the calculated metrics, trying to figure out the longitude and latitude, the air velocity, the math and science that I would have to smack my hand in order to hit the fly. And I think to myself, okay, I got this in the bag. I got this in the bag. This is secure. The bag is locked in. I'm gonna obtain the grain, solicit the biscuit, yeet the wheat. I got this. So I use all the force. I common the powers of earth, wind, and fire. Not the band. I'm copping into the avatar. All my past ancestors that have had to kill flies before. My mother. The power of the history of fly swatters. All together, culminating into my right palm. I swoop up, and in the sky, I high five all might. I say, Detroit, smack. I hit my hand so hard that I couldn't feel my wrist. I feel as if I gave myself severe level 57 permanoid periodontal arthritis. I've given myself a disease that I didn't even know existed. I somehow rearranged my DNA and gave myself rickets by the slap and the force that I gave. I can feel the magnitude, the Richter scale earthquake coalescing. The platonic plates are shifting based on this hit. And I lift my hand up only to see my palm is red. Completely red. Vampire colors. This is horrible. Like a vampire slaughter. It was upon the back of my palm. I look down. I see no fly. And I think to myself, well, maybe I eviscerated it. Maybe I struck with such force that I went Mach 37. I went the speed of Speed Racer. I went Formula Fusion Drivers. I tapped into the Speed Force, and I deleted the fly from this timeline. That's what I thought. I thought the fly was gone. I said, oh, this is amazing. Fly's gone. Fly's dead. Great. I've done it. 10 minutes pass. I hear no flies. Life is good. And then, as if to mock my efforts, as if God himself had cursed me, as if my ancestors had been putting this besmudgment, I am befuddled by the sheer amount of almost ineptitude that I possess to take out one enemy that seems to have it out for my blood, body, and soul. The fly is buzzing again. Fly's buzzing. I'm angry. I have no respite other than to be exasperated by the sheer just I have no words for how despondent I was, for how brazen this fly was, how aloof it was to the plight of me wanting to kill it. So I made peace. I made peace with myself. Day 4 passes. Fly is still buzzing around me. I achieved nirvana. I achieved nirvana. No clue how old the fly is. No clue where it came from. Must have come from an outside source. Maybe it manifested from a chaos dimension. I have no clue. I don't know where the fly came from. I don't know. But what I do know this. I do know that me and this fly, we're buddies, we're compadres. I started putting food out for it. We're homies. We're members of Soviet Russia together. We're taking pisses together. He's in the bathroom while I'm pooping. Life's good. Life's good. We're great. He's buzzing in my ear. He's watching me edit videos. He's watching me record. Fly Saros. I'm so fly. Life's great. Life's fantastic. I'm not annoyed that this bug is obviously trying to become my best friend, trying to become a member of my secret society, of trying to get in my personal area and my space when I need personal me time. My me time is fly time, and time is flying by, same as him. And I begin to understand that my existence is worthless, and I begin to envy the fly. Flies, for the greater part of what I understand, know their purpose. They collect poop. They eat poop. Their own piles of filth. They're decomposers, much like mushrooms or pioneer plants. They're always there. That's how flies operate. That's how they've always existed. They have been there since time immemorial. Since the first beginning, the dawn of time, there have been flies, a perfect design, built from the confines of manure and trash. Flies have had the same biological design for as long as I've existed, and thus that means that's as long as time has existed, because I've been here since the beginning of time. And I begin to envy the fly, because the fly knows its purpose better than I know its own purpose. And maybe the fly was taunting me because I don't know my purpose. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. I don't have any idea about what to do with this existence that I've been given, this gift of life. But the fly knows. The fly has 10 to 15 days to live. So I begin to learn from the fly. I begin to accept that the fly knows more than me. The fly is better than me. The fly understands something that I don't get. I couldn't buy fly spray. I have a cat. There's no pet-friendly things besides Zevo, and I couldn't go buy that. So I just accept that the fly is now a universal constant, such as death or taxes. It is going to be there for the end of all time. It's going to be there when the second meteor hits and resurrects the dinosaurs as dinosaur zombies that can't go in the sun because they're also vampires, but they're AI robots as well, so they can go in the sun, but they block out the sun because they want to keep their vampire powers. That's what's going to happen. That's the thought process. But those flies will still be there even after that, even after the pyramids fall again, even after the aliens teach us how to reconstruct the pyramids, even after Hoteps and Hebrew Israelites actually do find an ice wall and realize that nothing's behind there besides Pizza Hut and the one man that can out pizza the hut. That's what's gonna be there. The fly's gonna be there. The fly's gonna be looking at me. The fly's gonna be taunting me every single day. That's what the fly is gonna do. That's what's gonna happen, and that's what I feel about the fly. And I'm on day 4. I was on day 4. And I've been accepting the fly, and we were vibing out. We were maxing, relaxing, chilling out, cold, shooting some b-ball outside of school. My wife comes in. Wife comes in and says, "Oh, a fly," and kills the fly. I have never, in all of my years, been so happy. The joy that released and expunged from my body, the exaltation of breath that came from my lungs, that approached from the gullet of my stomach, that came throughout my esophagus, and then entered out of my nostrils, out of my mouth hole. My orifices were completely released. I had achieved the state of Maitreya, enlightenment, Sun Wukong. I have reached the one above heaven. I am beyond all of it. None are as honored as thee. I achieved it. Oh, thanks to my partner. As I was pondering my joy from getting rid of my fly menace, I heard another buzz in my ear. And upon hearing that buzz, a rage filled me that I had never felt before in my life. A rage that I thought was foreign to me. A rage of a thunder, a force of nature, a rage that I was not ready for. I bombed my house recently because there was 4 flies. They had all I thought was 1 fly because I couldn't track a single fly. Here goes the fun part. There was really only 1 fly. Only 1. I had imagined the other 3 because I'm schizoaffective. It was really bad. It was really bad. Anyways, I just wanted to make a short video about the fly. Pissed me off. Bye.
I'm your nigga night, be my loyalties low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride.